Well, now to our story on Australia's rental not spots. Tonight we'll tell you the suburbs where tenants are getting a raw deal.
My heater doesn't work properly. The toilet was leaking. We had grass growing through the floor. The bathroom was rotting away. The floor tiles were all broken.
She woke up to find the landlord standing over her bed.
Enter at your own risk. Mould, bug infestations, missing bond money. This is the catalogue of the country's worst rentals. The places where tenants are doing it tough for all the wrong reasons. For the first time, ranking the streets and the suburbs on this national shame list will tell you exactly where landlords are letting you down.
That exposes any of the shonky or poor operators in the industry.
Well, this tenant has had to wedge cardboard in between the gaps in her kitchen to stop mice coming into her home. And the landlord, well, he's refused to fix the problem.
In this home, mice aren't the only problem. For $230 a week, these tenants have to put up with a mouldy and rotting bathroom, ceilings that are less than stable, and a front door that doesn't even close. Are you living in Australia's worst rental suburb?
When we find that there's a particular suburb that's producing more and more results, we know that that suburb has some sort of special problem that needs dealing with.
Property expert Anthony Ziebel has set up a one-stop guide for renters. He's gone from state to state, ranking the worst performing suburbs across the country.
When you've got people falling through stairwells and being injured, I think that's a pretty fair thing to be angry about.
Anthony says Frankston is the worst performing suburb not only in Melbourne but the whole of Victoria. St Kilda and Hyatt were also on the list, as well as Coburg in the inner north. In Sydney, Stanmore in the inner west topped the dodgy list. Western Sydney suburbs Panania and Belmore were also unpopular, along with inner city Newtown.
So in Western Sydney, we had one woman say she woke up to find the landlord standing over her bed. And while police are dealing with that issue separately, she still has to stay in that house, renting it without changing the locks, because that is what the Tenancy Act requires.
Southport on the Gold Coast was Queensland's worst offender, while in Brisbane, Indooroopilly, Wooloowin, Caboolture and Ashgrove all copped complaints from fed-up renters.
In Southport, Queensland, we had one tenant say that the fences were completely broken down. Sometimes her kids were attacked by dogs.
In Adelaide, Ottaway, Morford Vale and Elizabeth North topped the list. In Perth, Queen's Rocks, Shelley and Greenwood received the most complaints. The website is called Don't Rent Me, a platform where renters can warn others about dodgy properties, unforgiving landlords and lazy agents. A new smartphone app also helps renters steer clear of problem areas.
So if I want to rent in a certain suburb, how do I use the app?
Well, the app actually tracks where your current location is and pinpoints all the reviews nearby you. And you can also leave a review of the place you're inspecting while you're there as well.
The website is also turning the tables on property managers, with a new tool allowing landlords to rate real estate agents.
That's the whole reason why we pay rent, is because other people are meant to take care of the houses.
Single mum Lexi says bring it on. She's rented in Frankston for the past 5 years and warns it's not always the landlord who makes life tough.
If an owner has a house sitting there empty for 6 months because their tenant moved out because the agent wasn't repairing things, then they're the ones who miss out on their money. They'll take our money every week, but they won't do anything about it.
People are certainly venting their feelings here. They're certainly letting their personal grievances known.
Paul Bird is from the Real Estate Institute of Victoria.
Yeah, certainly take this site with a grain of salt. What you need to do is to research your area that you want to rent in, have a look at the Real Estate Institute in your state to find the best property manager for you, and then go through that licensed property manager, find a great property and make sure it's the property that you want to rent and that you like.
And we are just another tool to assist renters in finding a good landlord and property manager.
Say bye.
Bye.